I've been meaning to watch this show for a while now, but I just never got around to it. Too busy twiddling my thumbs, I guess. I'm really not that busy. It's not like I got a social life or something. Wait, scratch that. What I meant to say was... As usual, this video just covers episode 1 of the series, and that's all I've seen of it. Expect me to say stupid things. I do that often enough as it is, but this format is practically designed to amplify the absurdity of my speculations, especially when you have a premise as absurd as this one is. It's pretty out there. A blinding green light washes over humanity, encasing them in stone for 3,000 years, before 2 of them manage to break free. It is now up to Senku and Taiju to restore those still petrified, using every bit of knowledge at their disposal. Senku's goal is to rebuild civilization, and Taiju is more than happy to fall in line and assist him, in the role of the show's primary supporting character. Wait, he's a lead? Huh. Taiju may be good-natured, but he's also simple-minded. He isn't a leader or visionary of any kind. He's essentially a grunt. Imagine Hiro from Psyche K, minus the assertiveness and intensity.
This is it, Senku! My mind's made up! I'm finally gonna do it! After 5 long years! I'm telling her how I feel!
You know, never mind. He's pretty intense. Why is he so sweaty? Adding to the confusion is the title itself. There's no way Dr. Stone refers to anyone but Senku. He's already figured out how to restore petrified birds, so repeating that process with human beings is probably just around the corner. Just look at all these people in the opening and end credits. Even the series covers support Senku's central position in the story. But none of that matters here because a POV from Senku's perspective wouldn't be nearly as compelling. He's unrelatable. The alien world these two find themselves in doesn't faze him. It's an interesting mental puzzle to solve, not something to be feared. Taiju, on the other hand, does show emotion. He feels loss and regret, and is unprepared to survive in a world that's long since forgotten about the humans who once dominated its surface. He's glad to be alive, but horrified as to what's become of civilization. All of these elements are things most of us would likely feel in his situation. Taiju is our window into this foreign, inhospitable environment, while Senku is our guide to understanding it. It's a battle between ignorance and knowledge, fantasy and science. But that doesn't mean everything Senku tells us is true. At the very beginning of the episode, he hands Taiju a love potion, claiming,
"I've developed this drug as a kind of love potion. It maxes out your pheromone levels, granting you a 10 billion% chance of winning her heart."
The potion is gasoline, apparently. I don't think it really looks like gasoline, but it is flammable. Regardless, Senku only offers it to Taiju as a means of reinforcing what he wants. It gives Taiju the confidence he needs to finally go up to Yuzuriha and confess his feelings for her. The same can be said for when Senku praises Taiju's determination later on.
"If I'm gonna rebuild civilization, I'll need a muscly meathead to do the grunt work. I've been waiting for you, Taiju. I was 10 billion% sure you were still alive. You were so hell-bent on confessing your love. Even a few thousand years wouldn't stop you from making that happen. You aren't that weak."
Willpower, huh? That's how Taiju survived? What about that bird they reanimate just before the credits? I don't think their willpower is all that strong. They're mainly instinctual. How long do you think it would take a bird to completely forget what freedom was? To lose any understanding of itself? A week? Maybe a month? Certainly not thousands of years. All of this seems meant to disguise the fact that, in all likelihood, Senku dragged Taiju's frozen body into the cave, rolled him onto his stomach, and placed him under the guano concoction dripping from the ceiling in the hopes of reviving him. It's not like Taiju could have floated there on his own from where he was previously located, and I'm not buying that it was his determination that kept him alive or shattered the stone. He was drifting in and out of consciousness. In both of these examples, I believe Senku's motivation is the same: to motivate Taiju. It gives him something to focus on. His resolve and determination are his strengths. These are the things that, supposedly, got him through all the hardships thus far, and it is these things that will help him succeed now. Just look at him go, off to explore his own cave. Huh.
What's that? Whoa! Me and Senku haven't been here yet, so that means someone else survived! I gotta know who they are!
Are you telling me Taiju doesn't recognize the place he woke up in? Or were our animators so lazy they just reused the same cave footage from before, hoping I wouldn't notice? That would be disappointing. Anyway, let's get back to the science. A lot of it is surprisingly accurate and detailed. You can in fact make gasoline out of plastic. Salt can be harvested from seawater. The poisonous plants listed are in fact poisonous. Bat guano does turn acidic over time, and when you mix nitric acid with alcohol, you can certainly get nitol, a commonly used agent in etching metal. But all of this is intermixed with elements that, as yet, have no explanation, like the petrified shockwave itself, or how Senku and Taiju's minds remain active while frozen for millennia, yet they neither age or go insane, or the logical Senku's constant use of 10 billion%. What's that all about? Even stranger, everyone's clothing remains unpetrified, decomposing over time, except for Yuzuriha's earmuffs. They've become a part of her. I know, crazy how something that major could have been overlooked. But one of the things that's so brilliant here is its acknowledgement that a lack of understanding doesn't mean that science has failed, or that logic no longer applies. Acquiring new knowledge simply takes time. That's why this opening episode spends so much time on solving the petrification problem, because experimentation isn't easy. There's a lot of trial and error.
I've been experimenting for a year now. It actually didn't take as long as I'd imagined. I'm gonna beat fantasy with science as my only weapon.
That's how things wrap up, and it's a great line to conclude with. It emphasizes where the show is going, what Senku and the series writers seem intent on teaching us, demystifying the unknown. And there are certainly a lot of unknowns. Like, as I already mentioned, what caused everyone to turn to stone in the first place? Was it aliens? Mother Earth rebelling against an increasingly polluted world? Why were birds being petrified before anyone knew anything was amiss? It couldn't have been from flying close to whatever energy source put our species on pause, could it? They would have fallen from the sky and shattered. Why weren't wolves and baboons affected? Or these deer? Wait a minute. There are unpetrified birds still flying about? Were only some of them turned to stone? Does that mean it's possible that some human beings weren't petrified? And what's up with Taiju and Senku's new face tattoos? Are these meaningless, or are they signs of deeper biological changes within them, triggered by their centuries of stony imprisonment? Is it possible that everyone who wakes up will have undergone some sort of metamorphosis and that they'll have evolved in some way? I guess I'll just have to wait and see. Overall, this is a very compelling episode. It blends the unknown and its exploration through science in fun and creative ways. And I almost tossed out my don't watch any more episodes until I'm done with this video mantra just to satisfy my curiosity. Not really sure how I managed it, but somehow I held off. I wonder how many things I've gotten right in here. I didn't make a whole lot of full-blown theories, but a lot of my character assumptions could be proven wrong. Anyway, these are just some of my thoughts on this show. Feel free to civilly discuss Dr. Stone down below, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.